Today's tip of the week is about having perspective. Abe Lincoln had one of my favorite quotes of all time, and he said, "We can complain because rose bushes have thorns, or rejoice because thorn bushes have roses." And that's what this topic is about today. It's about having the perspective, looking at the same plant and seeing the roses and not the thorns. Because we have the power to choose how we interpret challenges. And by the way, if you're in project management, there are challenges. There are challenges every day. They're full of roses, which are the opportunities, and all sorts of thorns, which are the risks and the issues and the constraints. And we influence team morale by how we frame those obstacles. And we can shift a team from being reactive and being frustrated to being more proactive and focusing on problem solving. So, therefore, perspective is a strategic tool that we take, and it's not just a mindset. And so here's some thorns we commonly see on projects or the team commonly sees as problems. And those are things like tight timelines, shifting priorities, which happens all the time, unclear scope and requirements. There's always some sort of stakeholder conflict or misalignment or some escalation that's needed. There's resource constraints on projects all the time. Team members are shared, so there's always competing workloads and other priorities. There's always risks and issues and last minute changes. The team gets tired and burnt out, disengaged at times. There's interdependencies between other programs or other teams or organizations that generally slow progress. And then there's consistent pressure to just deliver as quickly as possible, a lot of times with limited information. And so there's this temptation to just focus on what's going wrong, focus on those thorns instead of what's possible. But if we take those same challenges and turn them around as roses, we can see the constraints as an opportunity to do better planning, the stakeholder conflict as a signal for maybe better alignment with those stakeholders, the changing requirements as maybe evolving clarity into what our business and our stakeholders actually want. Risks are very much early warning signs that can avoid bigger issues, and that gives us the opportunity to chase them down and fix them before they become a bigger challenge. Team fatigue might be a cue that to revisit the workload and the team and the structure to see if there's a more optimal way to do that. Same thing with bottlenecks. Those could be opportunities to streamline processes. And limited information allows us to ask some questions. So you can see we've taken the same challenges on the prior picture, and we've taken that as a moment to demonstrate leadership, to be calm about it, and to frame it in a way that allows us to see that as an opportunity to improve something. And perspective matters for us because we set the tone for the projects. We're at the center of the projects. We deliver the work, and the teams mirror our reactions and how we frame things. So positive framing increases resilience and morale and so on. And taking that constructive perspective helps improve the stakeholder trust and confidence. So by seeing the roses, it helps us prioritize the opportunities and not just list out all the problems. Look, those of us who reframe those challenges build stronger and more adaptable teams. And it's a better mindset. And who wants to work in a crappy environment where all you see is thorns? So how do we apply that in our daily work? Well, a lot of it is about reframing the complaints. So instead of just an issue or somebody complaining, you could say, well, what's the opportunity? What can we improve? What can we make better? Celebrating those small wins, even if it doesn't seem significant, is important because it sort of recognizes that there is progress and that good things are happening. Acknowledge those thorns with honesty. We don't want to avoid them, but we want to honestly talk about them, but they shouldn't dominate the narrative. Right? We should focus on the solutions and identifying options, not just the obstacles. And again, throughout all of this, we're the ones that have to model the calm, the optimism, the curiosity, and the approach to fix things because we're the ones that build the culture. And challenges are okay. They're expected. If you've worked on projects, you know that that's the case. So just prepare for them and have that mindset. Hopefully this was a good way to start your week, and let me know your thoughts and comments. Thanks for watching.